Did you know the most expensive building in the world is far more than just concrete and glass? Today, we'll uncover how Steve Jobs designed the future with the Apple Park. Have you ever wondered how many zeros fit into 3 trillion? It's a surreal number, almost impossible to comprehend, but it's the milestone Apple achieved in market value, becoming the first company to reach this extraordinary feat. This astronomical figure symbolizes more than just wealth. It represents the profound impact and influence Apple has on the world. However, Apple's greatness extends far beyond the numbers. It's deeply rooted in innovation and the ability to break boundaries. Much of this stems from Steve Jobs, the visionary who revolutionized how technology integrates into our daily lives. Through him, the world was introduced to the iPhone, a creation that forever transformed our relationship with electronic devices. This relentless pursuit of innovation isn't limited to Apple's products. It's embedded in the company's very architecture. The Apple Park, Apple's stunning headquarters, was the last major project Steve Jobs personally oversaw, immersing himself in every detail until the final days of his life. Today, we'll delve into how Apple influences the world, even for those who've never owned a single product from the brand. Additionally, we'll explore why the Apple Park is hailed as the most advanced and modern corporate building on the planet, embodying Jobs' legacy in every square inch. Apple undoubtedly stands as one of the primary forces behind the transformations shaping our contemporary society, redefining how we interact with technology. In the 1970s, computers were massive, occupying entire rooms and requiring controlled environments to function. These technological behemoths were exclusive to the world's largest corporations and operated by experts. But everything changed in 1977 when Apple launched the Apple II, marking the dawn of the personal computer era. For the first time, having a computer at home was possible. By 1983, Apple introduced Lisa, the first computer with a graphical user interface, leaving behind green screens and text-based commands. 2 years later, the Macintosh took innovation even further, being the first to feature windows and icons controlled by a mouse, setting the foundation for what we use today. The revolution continued in 2001 with the launch of the iPod, which allowed people to carry over 1,000 songs in their pockets, an unprecedented feat at the time. That same year, iTunes transformed the music market, ushering in the digital era with the sale of downloadable music. Then, in 2007, the iPhone arrived and changed everything again, becoming the first smartphone to capture the mass market. It didn't just revolutionize mobile phones but redefined how we use technology daily. And to think it all started in a garage in Cupertino, California, with 3 friends and a dream. Before moving to Apple Park, Apple's headquarters was located in the iconic Infinity Loop, a name inspired by a programming error. However, Steve Jobs was never a big fan of this complex, which was built while he was away from the company. As Apple grew rapidly, the company began operating in multiple buildings scattered across the region, creating chaotic logistics. That's when the opportunity arose to acquire a large plot of land formerly owned by HP, ironically, the site of Jobs' first job as a teenager. Jobs wanted more than just a functional building. He envisioned something that would inspire creativity and defy norms. Apple Park embodies this vision. Designed to be one of a kind, it blends futuristic design, sustainability, and cutting-edge technology. This campus isn't just a workspace, it's a statement of Steve Jobs' vision, to think outside the box and redefine what's possible. Even after his death, his influence lives on in every detail, proving that Apple is not just a tech company but a symbol of innovation shaping the future. To bring such an ambitious project to life, Steve Jobs enlisted the renowned British architect Norman Foster. Widely regarded as one of the greatest contemporary architects, Foster is known for his modern, functional, and innovative aesthetic. This approach aligned perfectly with Apple's product design philosophy. Jobs insisted on being treated not just as a client but as part of the team, collaborating directly with Foster and Johnny Ive, Apple's then director of design. Ive, with his product design expertise, and Foster, with his architectural brilliance, formed, along with Jobs, the trio responsible for creating Apple Park. The centerpiece of Apple Park is its iconic ring-shaped building, surrounded by a vast park designed to accommodate up to 12,000 people. This building, a perfect circle with a 1.5-kilometer circumference, embodies the fundamental principle of Apple products: form follows function. The goal was to create a workspace that connected people with one another and with the nature surrounding them. To achieve this, Apple Park was designed with a highly open structure, both physically and conceptually. The office layout, inspired by co-working spaces and university campuses, promotes collaboration and the free flow of ideas. Employees have access to a spacious, open floor plan with corridors that encircle the building on both the inner and outer sides. These corridors are separated from the outdoors by glass walls that run the entire perimeter of the building, providing a panoramic view of the park. The extensive use of glass, while challenging, brought a unique feature. 300 custom-made curved glass panels, each 15 meters tall, were used, making them the largest curved glass panels in the world. Despite this characteristic, the building was designed to withstand earthquakes, employing a base isolation system that allows the structure to move up to 1.5 meters in any direction, ensuring the safety of its occupants even under extreme conditions. Steve Jobs and Johnny Ive drew inspiration from Japanese architecture to implement this system, renowned for its efficiency in regions of high seismic activity. Additionally, the building's facade features a white roof that provides shade to the inner corridors, as part of an advanced natural ventilation system. Jobs disliked the noise of fans and the use of air conditioning, but also didn't want open windows. Thus, he opted for a system that uses water pipes embedded in the floor and ceiling to maintain temperatures between 20 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius for 9 months of the year, without relying on artificial cooling systems. Apple Park stands as a model of energy efficiency, being powered 100% by renewable energy sources. The building's roof is almost entirely covered in solar panels, capable of supplying up to 75% of the energy demand. The remainder comes from biogas fuel cells and natural gas. While it is considered one of the most energy-efficient buildings in the world, it's important to note that sustainability goes beyond energy efficiency. The construction involved demolishing the former HP campus, generating significant amounts of debris, and many of the materials used were not the most sustainable options available. One of the most impressive features of Apple Park is its main restaurant, which reflects Jobs' vision of fostering social interactions among employees. The restaurant's facade includes 2 colossal glass doors measuring 15 meters in height and 55 meters in width, which glide smoothly along floor tracks. These are the largest glass doors ever built and help integrate the indoor and outdoor environments, reinforcing the feeling of immersion in the natural landscape surrounding the building. This unique project reflects Jobs' perfectionism and Apple's commitment to creating spaces that inspire innovation and collaboration. The green space at Apple Park occupies approximately 80% of the entire site and offers over 6 kilometers of trails for walking and jogging. More than 9,000 trees have been planted, carefully selected to ensure long-term sustainability. The chosen species are drought-tolerant, a critical factor in addressing the challenges of climate change. Landscaping was a priority for Steve Jobs, who drew inspiration from Stanford University's parks, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, considered the pioneer of landscape architecture in the United States. To bring his vision to life, Jobs enlisted American landscape architect Lawrence Halprin, a specialist in park design, to work on the project. Jobs and Halprin determined that the Apple Park landscape would serve as a true retreat for employees, designed with 2 central principles: to promote mental and physical health, and to reflect the essence of Northern California's regional landscape. Halprin described Apple Park not as a replica of the region, but as an artistic interpretation of that landscape. Just as a painter uses a brush and paint, Halprin used nature itself as a tool, creating a living masterpiece that combines functionality with aesthetics. Steve Jobs' obsession with details was taken to the extreme in this project, much like he did with Apple's products. Inside every Macintosh computer, for example, Jobs included the signatures of his team, a gesture of appreciation for elements users would never see. At Apple Park, this mentality translated into an impressive level of care. Jobs knew exactly how the office walls should look. He wanted oak wood cut in winter, preferably in January, to ensure the lowest possible sap and sugar content. This meticulousness defined the entire construction process. Norman Foster's firm, in collaboration with Johnny Ive and his design team, custom-developed nearly every detail of Apple Park, including faucets, elevator buttons, and even sinks. The level of attention was so precise that even the parking structure was designed with white tiles on the walls and ceilings, while traffic lights were arranged horizontally, reminiscent of Apple's operating system icons. This pursuit of perfection elevated the project to another level. Apple Park also houses the famous Steve Jobs Theater, a structure designed for events and product launches. With a capacity for 1,000 people, the theater impresses with its design. The pavilion above ground has no supporting columns. Its roof, made from a single piece of carbon fiber, is supported solely by curved glass panels, making it the largest structure in the world supported entirely by glass. In addition to the theater, the complex includes spaces like the Fitness and Wellness Center, the Visitor Center, and the underground parking garage, all surrounded by parks and trails. This combination of functionality, innovation, and natural beauty meant that the construction of Apple Park took 7 years to complete, officially opening in April 2017. The initial budget of $3 billion was exceeded, reaching $5 billion, placing Apple Park among the most expensive buildings in the world. To put it in perspective, the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, cost $1.5 billion. In his final public appearance in July 2011, Steve Jobs presented the new campus proposal to the Cupertino City Council. He approached the project not as an architect or productivity expert but as a storyteller, conveying the vision of a space that would inspire innovation and connection. 4 months later, Jobs passed away, never seeing his last great project come to life. Apple Park is more than a building. It is a declaration of his philosophy: attention to detail, respect for nature, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. A true legacy that reflects his vision and shapes the future of Apple and the world.